in the book, they're like, Kier had a twin, Dieter or Dee. I don't even remember his name.
Yeah.
Dieter.
Which,
And
to me, I was like, is Dieter his Peter?
I mean, they kind of said it, too.
Right. So I was like...
I don't know.
Grab your popcorn, pour your drink of choice, and hit play. This is Pop, Pour, Play,
where we dive into shows you don't want to miss. I'm Kevin.
I'm Nichelle.
And welcome to our podcast.
Welcome back to Pop, Pour, Play. And if you're new to this channel, you're in the right place.
For unfiltered reactions to some of the hottest TV shows. I'm Nichelle.
And I'm Kevin. This week, we're going to be talking about the best show, and of course, that is Severance.
Severance. Ooh.
Yes.
Before we dive in, Kevin, you got to tell me, what is in your cup?
This week, I have a blueberry mint martini made with gin. Delicious.
Nice. I love that. And I came prepared with a gin mule.
All right, we're in the gin club today.
I should have had my I was supposed to have like my lime wedge, but ran out of lime, so
I didn't have time, so It is what it is.
Good, thank you. All right. I just have to prepare everyone again. There are going to be spoilers.
Tune out, okay? Because some secrets are coming out, all right? Some adult ones.
This episode had me out of my seat. Like, I was on the couch hollering. I'm so glad no one else was home, because they would have been highly upset that I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
Very few shows get me up out of the seat.
Yep.
And this one did that.
Yes.
I was confused when it started. I said, what the hell is happening? But
yes, I did. Yep. Same thing. Okay. So let's get into it. The 3 words that describe our mood after seeing this episode. You want to go first?
Yeah. My 3 words are ecstatic. I'm sure you know why. I'm going to use delicious because it was scrumptious. I was eating up every bite. And now I'm just like eager because I want to know more.
Yes. Okay.
What about you?
I will say that we're similar in that eagerness, but my first one was baffled. I was baffled by some of the buffoonery that Kier would write. I will say that I am anxious about what's to come. Irv, what's he's kicked out. Is it just his innie? Are they going to be going for his outie? And I'm definitely obsessed. I'm obsessed with it all at this point. I'm obsessed with the show. I'm obsessed with the characters. I'm obsessed with the lines. Some of these lines in this episode. Chef's kiss.
They had 3 years to get it right, and I feel like they did not waste any of that time. Yeah. It's such a good show. They put it together very nicely, and they thought of everything. So I'm curious to know what your hot takes are on this episode.
Whew, okay. I would say the first was the environment. Of course, it opens up where Irv is in the middle of this frozen lake, crying out, and I'm thinking the whole time he's running off the lake that, oh my God, he's gonna fall in. It's like he does a little dance, hop to get the lake.
Like, why was he playing?
Yeah, I don't know. And then I thought, is this a virtual reality? I was a little thrown off the fact that this TV appeared. Or was it there? But they were so focused on each other and like trying to find each other. So I was like, okay, maybe. And then you had these weird clone avatars. Like, these definitely didn't look human.
No.
Very computerized. So how do you make that happen in the real world?
I didn't even think about it that way, and I think that's probably more likely than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I was like, Oh my! We kind of were playing with the idea of, are they making clones down there? And they're like, let's bring them out.
Yep. Right.
Let's bring them out. And in the book, they were like, Kier had a twin, Dieter or Dee. I don't even remember.
A twin brother who was called Dieter.
Which to me, I was like, is Dieter his Peter?
I mean, they kind of said it too.
Right. So I was like,
I don't know. But so that's kind of where I went. I was like, maybe they are doing clones and they're doing something. And
which I also jumped to like that thing that they thought was maybe a seal. I was like, that's a cocoon. But then it had like some kind of whiskers or something when they did the close up.
Oh,
exactly.
I don't think I really even noticed. I was like looking at it. I was like, what is this?
That was definitely my first hot take, is like, where are we? Are we really outside? Are we inside thinking we're outside the virtual reality?
I really I don't know where my head's at with that one, given all the shows we've been watching where this is the thing. So now I'm not sure. I think you bring up an interesting point. Maybe they are outside, but them seeing these weird twin versions of themselves, maybe it's like their chip telling them to see that. Like maybe it was programmed, and I think that's probably
right. Okay.
They're probably able to like do more with those chips than we think.
I got you. Yeah. Plant certain things, visuals, or yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Either way, there was definitely illusion in there. And how did they do it? Whether it was through the chip, or maybe they have them in like some virtual reality state.
I'm not too sure if this is like a hot take, or if I'm just like, this is where I'm not sure of the intention of Lumen. So the whole reason we figure out that they're outside in this frozen landscape for this, it's part of being a Lumen employee. You get an outdoor experience retreat for 2 days as your innie, but you get to go outside.
Ortbo. Yeah.
Ortbo? Yeah.
Yeah. Outdoor retreat, team building occurrence, I think it was.
Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion, Lumen's probably not wanting them to explore this other side of the world. I feel like they would want to keep all of this stuff under wraps. So instead, they're like, yeah, let's go outside on this
outdoor retreat and team building occurrence. This Ortbo.
And I just don't really know what the intention is. Obviously, they're doing it in a very controlled fashion. They had screens pop up out of nowhere, and there's visions happening.
Right.
But I don't know.
Of course, I think that gets all geared to instill this. You've reached this level of knowledge where you can now know the fourth appendix. You know what I mean? Like this deep understanding is book lit in this cave when they've read the story.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. And the verses, of course, in that book was just comical.
As he spilt his lineage upon the soil.
Okay.
You do you. You do you.
You know. But some of the other things that stuck out to me when I talked about earlier was some of the lines in this episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first one that got me was when Irv said,
I wouldn't trust a word out of that mountebank's mouth, not even televisually.
He is on fire. He was on fire as soon as he climbed up that mountain, it felt like to me.
Why do I feel like something happened to him? Like he came in, episode 1, he was very depressed almost.
Right,
he just like lost
Bert, right?
Mm-hmm. And now, like this episode, I feel like, I don't know if it's like he has that strong intuition and it's in overdrive right now and he's like letting it rip. Maybe.
Yeah, because remember we talked about how it felt like he knew more, and he's definitely on the phone with someone when he was in that phone booth. He did talk to what was her name? She worked with Bert in the O&D was or Owen what was it?
Optics and Design
Optics
O&D.
and right. Yeah.
I'm forgetting
So
her name,
O&D,
but I see her face.
I'm forgetting her name too. I do see her face. Well, yeah. But he spoke to her. Remember, she was all telling him, I never saw Bert scared, except for the time he was meeting up with you. He also talked about the hall that he was drawing. Oh, because he showed her how he drew Bert all those times.
Yes.
And then she saw that hall and she said, I think she called it the export.
Exports,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the exports hall or something. She was like, how did you know about that?
So, I'm actually, you just reminded me of a point.
Okay.
So, I'm glad you brought up the exports hall because we've been saying like the testing floor, but she calls it the exports hall.
Right.
Optics and Design, they're making totes, whatever, like pamphlets and just, I guess, whatever the company needs. But if they're shipping things down through the exports hall, it's going somewhere, right? To like its final destination. And we know that elevator, the arrow's pointing downward. Maybe they're not really, you were saying this before, maybe they're not really outside and there is other worlds down there that they're feeding into.
That's interesting. Well, I know that was the last thing that happened to Irv. And so maybe through that conversation, he got pumped. He's like, yeah, they just told me lies. Why would I be drawing an exports hall? And if he's like reintegrating or something, so he's realizing more and more he's uncovering a whole bunch of crap and propaganda.
So I was thinking about that too. Maybe Irv is reintegrating unintentionally or maybe intentionally because we don't know if his outie is doing something.
Right. I also have to call out the line that Milchek said. This was Irv saying that he was hungry. And Milchek said,
Are you? I thought the waterfall's grandeur would satiate you.
I was floored. I was just floored. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I have to appreciate some good writing. And I just thought there were some really good lines in this one.
We do know the last episode ended with Mark getting reintegrated himself.
Right.
I didn't get the feeling that he was like reintegrated. He felt like normal Mark to me.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that. I actually felt he was even different as an innie. He was all of a sudden so into Helly.
Yeah.
The whole giggling and with the goo eyes and you know what I mean? And then I started thinking, okay, well, maybe if they feel like they're two different people, he's not technically married to his outie's wife in his mind. He has no romantic relationship. Right. He was just doing it, right, to find this person for his outie.
Mm-hmm.
So to him, there's definitely no conflict with him liking Helly. It's my innie is with Helly. My outie has his wife whenever I find her.
Yeah, I don't know. That bothers me. Maybe
same.
Maybe his reintegrated self, because I don't know if he's technically reintegrated at this point. We might be like...
Well, you did see it flash on the screen when he was with Helly.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Like in the tent.
Yeah, the tent. His wife,
so
like he saw his wife. I know.
Maybe he's just a bad person. As a like his brain put back together into one functioning, bank of memories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I was just not happy with how fast they progressed from this random kiss outside of the elevator to I gotta find Helly.
Yeah.
And sleep with her.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Those woods, I'm telling you, it must be the woods because Kier went to the woods and either Dieter was playing with Peter or Peter is Dieter. And that was written in the books. And now they go to the woods and they get...
Yeah, yeah. Actually, so like what is the definition of woe? Because it was like woe's hollow, and woe is one of the four tempers.
Right. So, woe, great sorrow or distress.
Doesn't match up. I was just curious to see if like there's like this aura around this place that just makes people.
I think, I don't. Right. I'm just like guessing at, but I guess through the little lady, the
bride,
the medium-sized bride. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was she half the size of a regular bride?
It was half the size, yes.
Half the size. But can we talk about her hairline? Like, not just half the size. Like, she had half the hair.
Half everything, honestly.
She was scary. Like, so she was supposed to bring, I guess, this great sorrow and everything because of his wantonness. But also at the fire pit, I love that Irv could not let up.
I guess I'm just having a hard time, like, where did Irv really, like, turn? I know that it was, like, the night gardener, but this episode, he's really, like, amped it up. And do we think, because we also haven't explored this possibility, maybe she was severed on the past few episodes where I'm like, she's not severed.
I don't think she was.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she was. And I think when she came back and she said this night gardener, and when he first heard it, like,
A night gardener.
that's so stupid. And he didn't believe it. But then I think talking about Bert and whatever message his outie was getting to him.
Yeah.
We don't really know. I just remember he was on the phone. He said he got the message or I got it or something like that, right?
I keep forgetting about that. So, like, there's definitely something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, maybe they'll roll it back. He literally would not let it go. And I loved it. He was like, just tell us.
We have on a vest. A luminescent vest. Tell us.
What do you say? Luminescent? I was like, I can't. Like, he's just... He is on it.
I do love how when Irv was going for her, it almost caught the rest of the group off guard that even they were starting to turn on him. It felt like a different person. And I know we've been toying with the idea of like him possibly being reintegrated, but like I just like really felt like different. And he was always very soft spoken and he was like foaming at the mouth with this one.
Now that you say it, I think about it more. But at the time, I was like, yeah, get her. Uncover the truth. Make her say it. So I was bummed that he didn't get it out then and then stormed off. But you're so right. He's definitely, I think, showing more signs of his outie. Yeah.
Yeah. And we really don't know much of his outie. You know, we've gotten to see more of Dylan. So they're withholding some stuff from us still.
Yes, we haven't, but just given like how he walked to the payphone and how he had those maps where he was circling and he seemed very vigilant about finding something, uncovering the truth. That's the kind of just won't back down type of feeling I got from this Irv.
Yeah, I think you're hitting the nail on the head because I think we're getting to the point where when he accused her of being an Egan, and what I can't get past is what specifically made him think that. Like, okay, she lied.
Okay.
She lied about what her outie saw when they did the overtime procedure, whatever.
Overtime contingency plan, I think it was.
Yeah, OTC. Yeah. So, like, it could have been anything. She could have been like, "Oh, I was a murderer," or you know, like mid-murder.
Right.
Like it could have been anything. But he was like, "She's an Egan." That's what caught me off guard because I didn't expect that. What tipped him off?
So you didn't see it?
No.
What did you see? So, did you see anything when you were looking at the computer? Remember when he went to the desks?
Yeah.
And the numbers was doing something?
He was dreaming, but I didn't like see it. I saw like the
I saw Egan. I saw EAGEN like
Oh.
mixed into the letters. Like at one point it came clear to me like that looks like Egan.
I missed
And
it.
I wrote it
missed
down.
I missed that.
That could mean a couple of things. That there was an Egan in their presence, or that all that data stuff that they're doing is creating an Egan.
You know, talking about that computer scene as well, I don't know if you remember a few episodes back where we were like, what is macro data refinement and what are they refining? And the 4 tempers.
Correct.
And he is probably the person that's handling the temper woe, which is why he had that dream, and that's why that bride was there.
Oh, right.
So I think his task was like tempering the woe, and maybe it was for
and
like
that's why yeah. But I keep forgetting, why are there 5 boxes though? What is, if it's the 4 tempers, what is that 5th box?
Good point. Interesting.
Some good stuff. Irv had a nice smirk on his face when he was looking at Milchek. He definitely knew going that far would put him in jeopardy of staying at Lumen, but I think he was also proud about it.
He has to be reintegrated.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. I hope next episode we get to see it.
And next week, I'm hoping that there's a bit of an uproar, but overall, like, how are you feeling about Helena in this one? Because I love how far he was willing to take it. Like, I'll kill her if you don't change her back. That was where I was hollering. I was like, yes.
It was amazing. And I didn't expect that we were going to find out because I knew it.
You did. Yes.
The second she came out that elevator, it was like,
did.
Mark.
You predicted it from day one. You did. I will give you that. You did.
I knew she was off from the second she walked out.
Yep.
And I just didn't expect to get it this early on in the season. Maybe like episode 8. That's when everyone finds out. But now we know. And I am just so excited because now there's, I don't know, another 4 episodes.
There's a bigger thing in store.
Yeah.
There's something else. There's got to be something bigger than Helena going down there unsevered.
Question. What do we think's going to happen now? Because now we know Helly's back, at least in this moment. Does she get to stay?
She might have to stay. I think now, because Dylan was like, I should have listened to you. Mm-hmm. And Dylan, we already know he's a bit of an asshole down there. He's confident, cocky, and Irving was his friend.
Yeah.
And he would, if he gets any glimmer, something, he would be calling it out. So I feel like now they might have to.
Yeah. Or she's no longer going to be with them. They just separate her at this point.
That's true. Then they're down to 2. So that'll be interesting.
Down to the 2 that are most likely... Oh, no. Never mind. I was going to say down to the 2 that are most likely reintegrated, but I'm just now remembering that we don't know what happens to Irv now, so we'll see.
I know. This is where I'm just anxious.
Yes. I do have a suggestion for Apple TV, if Apple TV is watching.
Oh, yes. They're watching us.
Can we release more than 1 episode per week, or just, like, let them all out?
Just drop them all, right?
Like what? Why? What?
I know.
I
know. This is typically, if I'm really into a show, I will wait because I want to get it all. But this one I can't because it's just so hot. Something's going to pop up and I'm going to be like, no.
Just on YouTube. Just like a picture. And it's going to be ruined.
And I'm going to know exactly what's going on. Exactly. Yeah. It was really good. It was interesting too. Milchek and Miss Wong was in white or this off-white. My thought is like, well, we already know Miss Wong. She doesn't even feel like a real child. So I don't know. Either she's Miss Cobell when she was little or she's a clone or something. She went through that same upbringing, going through the whole conditioning, cultish type stuff. And she knows how to do everything. What is that instrument she was playing? Like what?
It looked like she had nothing in her hands.
Yeah. I know. It was just like air. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. It's a virtual world. Something was really crazy. I felt like maybe they were saying they were not clean enough. Like they weren't worthy enough. They're not the light. They're still kind of in the darkness.
Yeah. Interesting.
Some good stuff. Irv had a nice smirk on his face when he was looking at Milchek. He definitely knew going that far would put him in jeopardy of staying at Lumen, but I think he was also proud about it.
He has to be reintegrated.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I hope next episode we get to see it.
And next week, I'm hoping that there's a bit of an uproar. They're cheating the system. They send someone down there to work with them who wasn't severed.
Yeah.
And now that Irv, maybe he didn't do it the right way, but exposed it. And now he's villainized or cast out.
Yeah.
How is that right?
Yeah. Like what's that dynamic going to be now?
Yeah.
I imagine he's probably just going to team up with, what's that lady's name that reintegrates Mark?
Rigaby. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to see more of that maybe. Let's see.
Ooh, so I know, of course, we have to talk about who won this episode.
I think we're going to have the same answer.
Okay.
Unless you surprise me. Do you want to count to 3 and spit out the name at the same time and see if it's the same?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
On 3. 1, 2.
Irv.
That's not fair.
I was going to say Irving.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely Irving. Hands down.
Shocked me. Confused me a little bit. Yeah, I think he definitely deserves this week's.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for this Irv.
Honestly, just like him drowning her, like dunking her head underwater, it was like, wow. Yeah. Wow.
So if you have 3 words that describe how you felt about the episode, or you have your own theories, please put them in the comments.
And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. We would really appreciate it. And thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Catch you next time.